Finish training for the day? Time to fight post-workout fatigue with Core Power Protein Shakes. They're packed with 26 grams of high-quality protein to build muscle and electrolytes to help hydrate. The nutrition you need to help your body replenish, rebuild, and repair post-workout so you can power on to the next one. Champion your recovery with Core Power. Visit corepower.com to learn more.
Don't chew on that, Max.
Cooper loves that chew too.
Oh, now he's into Cooper's food. Wow, he is loving it. What do you feed Cooper?
Blue Buffalo Life Protection Formula. He never leaves a crumb. I love it because it's made with high-quality protein, nutrient-rich fruits and veggies, and wholesome whole grains.
Looks like we're switching to Blue.
Blue Buffalo foods are made with the superior ingredients your dog needs to thrive. Can your dog food say that? Visit feedbluefood.com to learn more.
Big news. Sephora is now on Uber Eats. So if you find yourself facing a beauty emergency, like needing a last-minute gift, or you're just out of your favorite mascara, again, don't panic. We got you. Order now and get $10 off on Sephora orders of $50 or more on the Uber Eats app. Order now. Offer ends October 30th. One order per customer. Additional terms apply. See app for availability. Delivery fees may apply.
ABC Wednesdays. Shifting Gears is back.
He has arisen.
Tim Allen and Kat Dennings return in television's #1 new comedy.
What?
With a star-studded premiere including Jenna Elfman, Nancy Travis, and...
Hey, buddy!
A big home improvement reunion.
Welcome.
Oh, boy.
That guy's a tool.
Shifting Gears. New Wednesdays, 8/7 Central on ABC. And stream on Hulu.
Episode of The Reality Is. As always, it's Noor, and I am riding solo today, which I haven't done in quite some time. I have a lot going on. Okay, so a little bit of what's going on with me. My mom recently got diagnosed with breast cancer, you guys. So I've just been really busy taking care of her. She had a double mastectomy. My office right now is out of commission. If you're on Patreon, let me show. My mom's sleeping in the office. Here's her CPAP machine. Things are very busy. So I haven't had a chance to record with my brother because, with my mom being here, he's primarily taking care of my dad. I've been taking care of my mom. Great news is early detection is incredible. It is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Early detection is king. She caught it as early as possible. She did need a mastectomy, so she did that. But we're in the clear. She doesn't need any additional treatment or anything. But it's just been a lot. It's been a lot to live with your mom again after like 14 years. So I've just been really busy, and I've just been trying to catch up on shows. I have unfortunately been dedicating some time to watch Love is Blind Denver. And I think I'm going to ask Amanda, if you're listening, Amanda Hunt, my hilarious friend Amanda Hunt, I think I'm going to con her into recording with me, because this is one of the most bizarre seasons. And every season I'm like, certainly it couldn't get worse. We couldn't get a weirder group of people. And Love is Blind is like, no, we are locking you in now to watch weird people try to interact with each other. That is what the show is. It is no longer Love is Blind. It is, you got to be blind not to see how kooky these people are. So I'm not talking about Love is Blind today. Follow me on Threads. I've posted some stuff there. But today I'm going to talk about Potomac and Salt Lake City, and I'm just going to try to recap it alone. I haven't done this in a really long time, so if you hate it, just, I don't know, don't leave me a mean review. Just be nice. Anyway, guys, Potomac premiered this week. It was so freaking funny. I love the shit out of it. It cracked me up, and I fear I didn't miss my sweet beloved Karen. because she wasn't there. The women had to focus on something else. And the focus was Stacey's breath. Stacey's breath has got it going on because it was so hot that several parts of this episode were dedicated to her breath. So anyway, we start the episode with Karen leaves the clanker. Okay, she's wiping tears, whatever. We know, everybody knows, you've watched Bravo for long enough. That's going to be the final episode of the season. It has to be. But 6 months earlier, we see Giselle putting together a charcuterie and a licca spread together to discuss Karen and the clanker. And she is reminding everyone in the group and her and the audience that this is Karen's fourth time. Like, we love her, we care for her, but Karen does love to drink and drive. Ashley shows up and, she and Giselle are talking about Karen and they wish her well, but they do throw her shade. They want her secure. They want her safe, but they also want her in the AARP quarters of prison. They're like, Karen, we wish you well because you're an old ass bitch. On Watch What Happens Live, the first thing Giselle said about Karen after seeing Karen, she's put on some weight. She's like, Karen, they've been feeding her carbs in prison. I'm like, I die. I love her so much. Anyway, the other ladies get there and, it's Kiarna, Wendy, Stacey. That's it, right? Kiarna, Wendy, Stacey, Ashley, right? They all get together and, Wendy's very happy to be allowed to use the indoor plumbing at Chateau Giselle or whatever the hell that's called. And they briefly talk about Karen. They're worried about her, et cetera, again. Giselle's like, I don't want her to do this for a fifth time, blah, blah, blah. Thomas Jefferson's concubine is briefly mentioned, and then that gives beloved Ashley, who is really earning her check, she uses those initials to transition over to TJ and Stacey. And I'm obsessed with Ashley's impression of Stacey this entire episode. She does such a good job. Like, she really does nail the Michigan out of Stacey. It's so fun. I love the way she says Ashley Darby, because she really does say it that way. Anyway, the girls ask what's going on with TJ, and I love Stacey because she says, the truth is, I'm sitting in my truth. And I love Giselle because she says, and what's that? This is why I love Potomac so much. It's so freaking funny. Anyway, Stacey says TJ's remorseful and he wants to issue a retraction. But on Instagram, Ashley reminds us that TJ's been saying that, he wants to show everybody the receipts. Well, TJ, we are waiting. Where's the receipts? Show me the receipts, in the words of Maya Rudolph. Where are they? Because I haven't seen them since. And I love Stacey because she's going on and on about, how like you guys need to stop coming for me. And TJ is so remorseful and he's so sorry and da da da. And I love her because she says, she's like, something awful happened to me. I was devastated. And I thought that she said that because she was going to be like, guys, why are we talking about TJ? Something really terrible happened to me. And they're like, what happened? And she's like, he put me in this position. And I love her because she's just a perfect amount of delusional, but also she's spicy because Kay is they're all like, were you doing this for the show? Like, did you make up the storyline for the show? Like, what is going on? And she's like, this isn't for a TV show. I've been on TV for years and years, for a decade. And Kiarna, I know that this is sensitive for you. Like, that's beautiful. That is, I said this last season, I still stand by it. Stacey gives me hints of a young Karen Huger. Delusional, lying through her teeth, putting on a front of, the universe and God and all these things, protecting it. I love it so much. Anyway, I love her. She doesn't want to hang. She gets up and leaves. And this is when Giselle and Ashley share with the ladies that they met with an actress at an event in Los Angeles. And that actress said that that actress showed them screenshots of some legal paperwork that TJ had that is going to have Stacey pay for 50% of her RHOP check. Now, here's the thing. anybody can sue anybody for anything. You can put in a claim for anything. All right. The reality is that you that if it doesn't go anywhere, then I guess it's, I mean, I don't want to sound like a Lisa Barlow apologist, you guys. I'm not trying to say that. Okay. But the point is, I get that there was some sort of a legal document and it claims that Stacey was supposed to pay TJ half of her check. Now, it's possible that this was a verbal agreement and then TJ didn't get the money, so then he went and pursued legal action to get Stacey to pay for it, blah, 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 all this stuff. And it's also very much possible that this got settled out of court. But anyway, at this point, 2 months before we go back to filming, like this is 6 months ago, back in March, there was some sort of a legal action being taken. And it was a person that claims that they know TJ really well. I think the internet has sleuthed enough to find out that it's Shanola Hampton, I think is her last name. She's from Shameless, my favorite character on Shameless. Like, so she was on Watch What Happens Live and she said that she and TJ are best friends. And when Andy was like, oh, what do you think about Stacey? She was like, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing about Stacey because, you know, me and TJ are actually best friends. So anyway, my point is there was a document at this point in March, a legal action was taken and then nothing happened. Because the thing is, I've not seen any receipts from TJ. Okay. We're still waiting on them. So where are they, TJ? Anyway, we fast forward 2 months later. There's a lot of stuff going on. Wendy's renovating. Giselle is empty nesting. Ashley's planning a party. And Stacey is dating her ex-husband. Guys, I call bullshit. Okay. This is fake. This is so fake. This is fake. This is fake. This is fake. The whole thing, the interaction, the prompts, it was so corny. It was like her being like, we got divorced and then we were on vacation and it was final. And then we said, no, we're going to try it again. And then we're sitting here and we're talking. And just the way she was asking him questions, it just felt to me so fake. And then them being like, we're not going to tell our daughter. Okay, but you are going to put it on national television. Isn't Arabella like, I don't know, 7, 8? You think she doesn't know about the internet? I have an 8-year-old. They know about the internet. This is just so bizarre. Them being like, oh, we're going to keep this to ourselves and we're going to see how this works and da-da-da. And we don't want to. It's so fake. And you know what? You know who else I've seen do this exact storyline before? I mean, they did tell their daughters. It's Giselle and Jamal Bryant. Please. Stacey, I beg of you, do something fresh. But also don't, because you're so funny and so cheesy. Moving forward in relationships to the next, Kiarna and her mom have a scene. And look, we found out a bunch of stuff about Greg and Kiarna. I don't care. I need to know how I can get myself to Kiarna's studio, because why does her mom look like that? Her mom is the most gorgeous woman I have ever seen in my life. I could not pay attention to a word she was saying because holy shit. First of all, they look like twins. They're both gorgeous. But I'm assuming Kiarna's mom is at least 20 years older than her. And I think Kiarna is my age. She's 38, 39, maybe 40. This woman is 60 and she looks like that. Can we make her a housewife? I'd love for her to be a housewife because, oh my God. Anyway, Kiarna moved out. She moved out. She broke up with Greg and then she got back to, guys, I'm sick of this. Stop breaking up with these men and then getting back together with them. It doesn't make any sense. You were right the first time. I've never seen anybody break up with someone and get back together with them and then it work out positively. Okay, it doesn't work. It does not. Goodbye, Greg. He's not even going to show up on the show. Bye. Get out of here. Ashley goes to a boutique to pick out a dress for her second bloom ball, which is her divorce party. And Stacey comes as well. Stacey joins her and Ashley tells Stacey about the conversation she had with Shanola Hampton, allegedly. And I love Stacey again because she just straight up denies it. She loves to walk off. I love the way she walks off. I love the way she lies through her teeth. It's just so good. I love when she was like, again, the truth is, I've forgiven TJ. Forgiven him for what? And then she's like, and I don't know about this imaginary conversation with imaginary friend and imaginary document. Like, dude, she is good. Okay, Artie said it last season when we met Stacey. She said, these QVC bitches don't fuck around, okay? They're really, really good at this. They're good. They're good, I feel like, at improv. They're good at staying ready. They're good at changing up the, because they've got people in their ear all day, I feel like, at the QVC studios. And there's so much going on, and they really know they're professionals. And I love Stacey for that. I love it. So Ashley's like, okay, fine. I'm not going to get to the bottom of this like situation with TJ, but are you even divorced? Because it's not on the internet. And Stacey's like, why do you, first of all, Ashley, you have a lot of nerve. Okay. You weren't divorced for like 4 years. But Stacey says, why do you care? And Ashley's like, I hate liars. I got tangled up in my wire. Ashley, you don't hate liars. You love them. You married them. You stay married to them. And I want Stacey to know that, because she loves liars so much, she was married to one for quite some time. She wouldn't even divorce him. And if you tell her the truth that you were in fact lying, Ashley, she may even marry you, because that seems to be her thing. So anyway, she walks off again. And this is where Ashley introduces us to her hot breath. Stacey's hot breath. We met a whole bunch of new ladies. We met Angel Massey and Tia Glover, and I love them already. Okay. I'm loving Tia's accent. I think she's so funny. I think anytime you have an accent, it's great. I love her for 2 reasons. She seems really wealthy, and she seems really, she's trying to get in the mix. At some point when Ashley and Stacey were fighting, Tia was like, tell her, what do you need from her? She's like, you're not speaking to each other. This is a really shitty accent. You're not hearing each other. I was like, oh, I love you. I love whatever's happening here. Here's the other reason why I love her. Later in the party, she met Charisse, Shasha, and she's like, oh, she's actually British. And then Charisse goes, oh, that means I have to stop my accent. Like, anything that gets Shasha to stop doing a cringy thing, I already love you. I loved Angel because her cackling about Stacey's tart breath, her breath is tart, was so funny. And then her like saying like, I barely know Wendy, I am younger than her, which that's like yummy housewife shade. And then also about Ashley going from bottle service to Duchess, guys. That's good. That's good Real Housewives of Potomac shade. That's what we want. I'm really hopeful about this cast now at this point. Anyway, the ladies attend this second Bloom Ball divorce party. It looks like a fun party. It looks like everybody's locked in. Okay, everybody's locked in. Everybody's ready to do something, including Kiarna, who is ready to fight about absolutely nothing. Okay, she picks a fight with Wendy, which is like so random. Like, I think that Kiarna definitely feels left out from the group, because last season everybody was like, what's Kiarna doing here? And I think this season she's like, no, I'm locking in. I'm no longer dragged down with my weird boyfriend, all that stuff. Like, I'm just going to try to like pick fights wherever I can. So her thing with Wendy is she feels like Wendy acts one way off camera and acts one way, I think, in group settings. No, she said, the way you are with me on phone is different than how we are in public. It sounds to me like when Wendy is recording when filming, Wendy might be kinder to Kiarna. And when they're talking one-on-one, she's nice, but she feels like at public settings, whatever, group events that are not being filmed from the show, that maybe Wendy can be a little bit shady. Maybe Wendy can be dismissive. And look, I think we know that about Wendy. I don't think anything about Wendy, like, I wouldn't be surprised if somebody said I ran into Wendy and she wasn't as kind or as like warm to me as I thought. I that would not surprise me. I'm not saying that she's nasty or rude or anything like that, but I think that Wendy has very limited time for people, and I wouldn't be surprised if she was like not interested in like giggling it up with like a person, if she's not close to them, right? If what Angel says is correct, which is that this lady was wearing skirt suits okay, in her dorms, then I'm going to say, okay, yeah, she's all about business. And that's okay. That's all right. Now, Wendy, Kiana being like, Wendy should have acknowledged me at this event while she was up there doing a speech, whatever. That was weird. Okay. I was like, this is a stupid fight. But then when she said that Wendy saw her at the red carpet and the first thing she said to her was, did you do your own makeup? You guys, that feels like, and I'm not Nigerian, but I feel like Nigerian aunties move like Desi aunties. That's an auntie ass thing to say. Hey, how are you? Did you do your own makeup? Guys, that's so funny. That is so funny. I just feel like Nigerian aunties move like Desi aunties. And I also feel like that just... it's like, as you get older, you just become more and more like your mom. And I feel like we've met Wendy's mom. And I feel like Wendy's mom would say something like that. It just like, it's rude, but it's funny. And I loved it. While they're all talking, all right, there's Stacey and Ashley are squabbling up about Stacey's breath. It's like, if I was on TV and I got caught lying about having a boyfriend and I got caught telling everybody, like if I got caught in a scandal where the guy that was on camera as my boyfriend came out and said, by the way, she paid me, I'm not actually her boyfriend. She's too pathetic to have a real boyfriend, so she needed to pay somebody to pretend to be her boyfriend on TV. I would be so embarrassed, but I would not be as embarrassed as if my entire cast, all my coworkers, talked about my breath. Being the butt of a joke because you have bad oral hygiene is so embarrassing, okay? It's so embarrassing. I would much rather get caught lying about a boyfriend. I would much rather get caught paying somebody to pretend to be my boyfriend than to be caught lying, to be caught about my hot breath. TART breath. It's so funny. It's so mean. You would never see my face again. And the fact that Stacey still, like, she's just so, her saying the Lord works in amazing ways. I'm back here. This is your job. I should say that every day I go to work. The Lord works in amazing ways. Somehow I found myself back here at Big Pharma. Stacey, you're going to work. Okay? It's so funny. The fight is so funny. It's like, I appreciate you, Kiana, for like trying to fight with Wendy, but like, this is a real fight. This fight here is real. Ashley tells Stacey to take her size 11 shoes and gallop away. Gallop away. Somebody comes in the middle. They're like, what do you need, Ashley? What do you need between these two? Like, what do you need to be normal with Stacey? And she says, show me the receipts. I want to know about your divorce. Okay. I want to know about your divorce. I want to know what's going on. Are you actually divorced? Are you even divorced? I could not be surprised if Stacey's like, actually, we got divorced. We got divorced in Germany. That's actually what's going on. And I'd be like, okay. I would just like, I love, like, that's because that's Karen. That's what Karen Huger does. She gets caught a lot and then she makes up something else. And I think that is so funny. And that is such good housewifery. And for those reasons, okay, I think Stacey is a hoot. I think she's one of the best casting decisions on the show. There is lying the way Mia did, and then there's lying the way Stacey does. And the way Stacey does is just so funny. It's so good. I already love this season. I'm having a great time. It puts the trailer more into perspective for me because I was like, who are these other people? I'm excited about Angel and Tia. I love the show so much. I'm going to take a quick break. When I'm back, we'll talk about Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. So stick around.
How do you top your love for your cat? With a cascade of decadent savory gravy over a mouth-watering mousse pâté. Fancy Feast gems. 2 gourmet pâtés in one convenient pack. Simply peel and plate to reveal a pyramid shape that makes eating delightful and pamper her with an experience as extraordinary as she is. Turn the everyday into the extraordinary with Fancy Feast gems.
The family that vacations together stays together. At least, that was the plan. Except now, the dastardly desk clerk is saying he can't confirm your connecting rooms.
Wait, what?
That's right, ma'am. You have rooms 201 and 709.
No, we cannot be 5 floors away from our kids.
The doors have double locks. They'll be fine.
When you want connecting rooms confirmed before you arrive, it matters where you stay.
Welcome to Hilton. I see your connecting rooms are already confirmed.
Hilton, for the stay.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. When your computer breaks, you don't wait for it to magically start working again. You fix the problem. So why wait to hire the people your company desperately needs? Use Indeed's sponsored jobs to hire top talent fast. And even better, you only pay for results. There's no need to wait. Speed up your hiring with a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
And we're back. Let's talk about Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. This week, this episode is called Pretty Little Liars. We open back up. By the way, was it Pretty Little Liars or Petty Little Liars? Because these women are petty and they're all lying and they are tiny. So that fits. But anyway, we open back up on Lisa's Clarity Lunch. I didn't realize that that's what it was called. Clarity Lunch. Last week it ended with our beloved Wild Rose removing herself from the situation. We don't even resolve what happened there. She yelled, she said, "I'm in the trenches defending Wild Rose Beauty with my life." There's Wild Rose Beauty, there's Prism Jewelry. Is the jewelry and the beauty the same? I don't know. Nobody knows, okay? But my Wild Rose, she's removed herself from the table long enough until Lisa tuckers herself out. And my favorite thing about Whitney is that she loves to make a scene, say something, and everybody's like what she's saying, like, I'm just going to walk away until Lisa gets tuckered out. Whitney be tuckering herself out sometimes. Like, there's been so many fights where Whitney's like, you exploited my vagina, or like, you got jizz for jazz, or whatever. And then like everybody just either, like, if you don't feed into it, Whitney will just calm down and move on. So it's funny that she removed herself from the table, saying that Lisa is like having a toddler having a tantrum, and I'm going to let her do this until she tuckers herself out. Well, Lisa doesn't care. Lisa moves on. She starts fighting with Angie. She basically claims that Angie doesn't even own her salons. They're all franchises. And Angie says, "You don't know my business. You do French fries and I do franchise." That's amazing. Also, here's the thing about franchises. If you own a company, right? Let's say you own 3 salons on your own, and then you decide to start franchising those salons to other people, and other people own those franchises, then those franchises, whatever the money they make, still goes to you, the original owner of the salon. And I don't know if that's what Lisa was trying to say. She said she owned like 1.5 salons, and Angie's like, "No, I own 3, and then I have a bunch of franchises." Or if she means I own 3 franchises and I own 3 salons, and I do a bunch of other salons that are also that I own through franchise. It's all possible. Like, it could be that Angie has like 3 of her own salons, and then the other 4 or whatever are like Moxie or a Dry Bar or something like that, because those are all franchises, right? I don't care. She seems to be making enough money to have a pristine white house, okay? A house so big and so grand that Jen Shah used it for her confessionals in like season 1 or 2, okay? But Angie, I love her, a little Greek Spitfire. She goes right up to Lisa, and that's what she says. And then they start fighting about Fresh Wolf. She's like, "You're going to talk," basically Angie's like, "You're talking shit about my salon. Meanwhile, My salon is so nice that you decided to put your products that are not selling, your Fresh Wolf products that are not selling at my salon. And then there's like the Kara Stas fight. So it sounded to me, and I don't know if I fully followed it, because the other thing with Salt Lake City is these ladies, they love to fight, and I can't often follow the fight because I don't think that they can follow the fight. Like sometimes I'm like, how do we get from that topic to this topic? And then I have to remind myself, like, there are no rhyme or reasons. This is topsy-turvy land. It does not make any sense. The very first big fight on this show was somebody smelling like a hospital. It doesn't make sense. I shouldn't try to like connect the dots, but she says you have Fresh Wolf products that you decided to put into my salon when I'm actually a Kerastas like salon, a certified. So I think the way that works is like you have a partnership with a brand, and then they will exclusively sell their products at your salon. And so it sounds to me like she has that, but then Lisa did that on her own. And she's like, Lisa, why aren't you selling Fresh Wolf products? Like, I sell both the product that you made with your kids, and I also sell the product that you are running up to them to try to get a sponsorship, right? That's what Angie's trying to say, I think, is as I'm saying this, I think it started to piece together in my head, because Lisa's coming for Angie's lack of business. And Angie's like, my business is so good that you try to use my business to sell your kids' products that should actually belong in Walmart. And my salon is so good that I'm actually have a sponsorship or a partnership with a brand that you are trying to work with now, right? So it's like Angie's establishing her place in the hair business. But in doing so, she does say that Fresh Wolf belongs in Walmart. I loved it so much. It made me laugh so hard. There's nothing that gets Lisa Barlow more riled up than when you bring up her kids. And Heather, the resident Lisa Barlow whisperer or ass licker or whatever she is, she pauses the fight and she's like, hey guys, listen, we're not having fun. Okay, whatever happened to fun? All right. I don't know, Heather. I can tell you what happened to fun. You had a lunch with Lisa Barlow after camping that started all of this. So you can't be like, why are you guys going so low? Why are you being so mean? Why are we fighting all the time? This isn't fun, Lisa. Like, this isn't fun, Angie. You can't say that when you were the bone collector who collected the bones and like a little puppy dog took it over to your master, Lisa Barlow, okay? And you said, look, Lisa, look what I found. Look what I dug up for you, loser. Anyway, it does bring the crowd down because Lisa, this is when the ladies start to get vulnerable. And Lisa goes around the table and she's like, I love all of you. I love all of you, even when I'm mad at you. She and Bronwyn have a few words. They're like, we're going to table this. We're going to take this offline. We're going to resolve it separately. And she's like, I love you. And I love you, and that's why I'm so mad at you, because this is so toxic, by the way. This whole thing of like, I love you, and that's why I treat you like shit. I beg your ever-loving pardon. Absolutely not. It's going to tie into later when we meet Bronwyn's mom, but this is some crazy, like, old school, like, religion is such a big part of Salt Lake City and how these women function. It's like ingrained in their being. And I think that as a person who was raised in religion myself, that whole thing of like suffering because you love the person or harming someone because you love the person, it is a little like, Jesus died for our sins. It is a little like suffering for Sawab or like, suffering for Jannah. Like it's just this whole, it's very toxic. I don't believe in religion like that, but it almost seems like sometimes these girls take that same feeling and they bring it into their friendships, which is so toxic. But Lisa's going around saying like, I love you and that's why I'm mean to you. I was hurt and I hurt you because I love you. Ugh. All of that. I mean, I didn't hear sorry. Did I miss it? I rewound it. I didn't. Nary a sorry, an apology, a my bad was said. Okay. She did not say sorry. She did collect a sorry from Angie, but she did not say sorry. Like, Lisa loves to say mean shit. And then when people come at her, she's like, you need to apologize for the mean shit that you said. I was like, okay, it doesn't work that way, Lisa. But again, 10 out of 10 housewife material. This is why she is, to some people, an icon. To me, not so much, but she is iconic to others, I guess.
Wish you could become a morning person? You know the type, up before the sun, early morning runs, first one to the office with donuts and a smile. How do they do it? Easy. With the new Galaxy Watch 8, sleep tracking and personalized insights from Samsung Health help you improve so you can wake up to a whole new you. One who, dare I say it, skips the snooze? It's possible. Train your sleep with Galaxy Watch 8. Learn more at Samsung.com. Requires compatible Samsung Galaxy phone, Samsung Health app, and Samsung account.
We go to Meredith Marks' boutique that I forgot she owned. I forgot that she owned a boutique. Okay, I thought we had moved on to DJing and caviar. Seth is there doing all kinds of annoying shit to piss me off, just his existence. I don't know. She's looking up in an attic to try to find some sort of a caviar cubby corner, and I just was not interested. I don't care. I don't care about these people, okay? Where are you putting the turntables? Where does the caviar go? Where do the turntables go? Because you are a disc jockey. So let's go. Heather and Mary have this transitional scene in the middle where they like go for lunch and they talk about how farts taste like hospitals. I couldn't follow. Anyway, we get a classic Whitney and Justin Rose scene at home that starts with like, ooh, what are they doing? What are they doing? Are they having sex? Are they fucking? What are they doing? Oh, you put that there. No, screw it in. Put it in tighter. Oh, if you turn it that way, yeah, jab it in there. And then, oh, they're building furniture, you guys. You guys are building furniture. It's just, they're so silly, those two. They're not building furniture. Actually, they're building a stripper pole. And I love Whitney because she's like, after everything I've gone through this season, in the past few years with the fall of my company, as a CEO, I just went through a lot. I just want to go back to my roots of having a stripper pole in my house. So silly. I want to go back to when in the carpool line people used to talk about me being the mom with the stripper pole. Never ever change, Whitney. Never change. Okay, I just want to be a stay-at-home mom with a stripper pole. Okay, I don't want to be a CEO anymore. I'm tired, Grandpa. Bronwyn and Lisa meet up at the Vita Tequila Lounge, and I'm not gonna lie, this was great. Okay, this is how I wish more housewives resolve shit this way. Okay, like Beverly Hills, take note. Miami, take note. Like, we need to be resolving shit this way. But to be fair, I forgot about the baby daddy's family drama. I completely forgot that had happened. I forgot that any of that happened. To be honest, I forgot that was the whole catalyst of their fight, which is that Lisa filmed several scenes about Bronwyn's baby daddy's family, right? To bring everybody up to speed, Bronwyn had a baby within a prominent Mormon family. That Mormon family had no connection with Bronwyn or her daughter Gwen. They never saw her. They never did anything with her. And this man's family was still propped up really high, and they were celebrated and all this stuff. And then when he passed, he was considered like a great man and, showered with love. And I think essentially Bronwyn got excommunicated from the church. Her family had to deal with the brunt of all of the drama. His family got off scot-free. And then Lisa goes on the show and is like, no, I hear his family's really, really nice. And Bronwyn's like, how nice could they be? They have not spoken to their grandchild. And then Lisa brings up this thing about, well, they heard that you had a miscarriage. And that's why they didn't get in touch with you, which is crazy pants USA. And so the whole reason why they were fighting this whole time was because of that whole thing. Lisa going on camera and spouting the shit about this man's family that is wrong, that is a lie, that continues to trigger Bronwyn and make her look like the bad person in a relationship where a man got to get a girl knocked up and got away with nothing. Got away with it all, you know? I mean, he did pass, so RIP, I guess, but that was the reason why they were fighting. And then they say, like, agree to disagree, no more slinging mud on our husbands. Sorry about your husband's dick. Because you know that Bronwyn once was like, yeah, Todd has gout in his dick. I'm sorry. You know that Bronwyn once like Todd was in the hospital or something. And Lisa was like, what's wrong? And she was like, Lisa, I don't know how to tell you this, but Todd has gout in his dick, in his penis. And, you know, Lisa later on put two stories together. She was like, her husband gets gout. And then also she likes to suck his dick. You're not a whore. I don't think you're a whore, Bronwyn. I don't. She says that so many times. Anyway, it was fine. It was like enough for me to be like, all right, great. These two will continue to film. Can't wait to see it. 10 out of 10. We go to church with Mary. It's been renovated. Mary shares a lot. She starts to share some deep thoughts about her mom. And I say this every week. I cannot recommend it enough. You need to go listen to the Bravo docket breakdown of Mary Cosby's church and her whole history. That is so eye-opening. But Mary shares in this episode that when she was getting married to Grandpa Daddy, she did think that it was weird, but they were all just following the steps of what the grandmother wanted. And if you listen to Bravo docket, allegedly, it's not really the grandma that was pushing for it. It was the grandmother's very young new husband, who is now Mary's husband, Robert Sr. But anyway, it's, you know, it's really nice to see Mary opening up, because I do think that she's doing amazing on the show. I think she's so funny. Her loving Angie's little reads on the side. Ooh, that's good. Oh, the French fry thing, like, it was so good. So it was, you know, it was nice. And she says that she's closer to Robert Jr. than ever. We go to Angie's salon and Heather comes in, and apparently Angie needs to do some hair stuff to renew her license. I don't know what it was. She was going to give this girl a perm. Okay. She just kept saying, I'm getting her a perm. I'm giving her a perm. I'm giving her a perm. Okay. But when she sits down, she starts to share something that happened to her. She said, I was working yesterday and a beautiful young girl came in, and she said she's Lisa Barlow's assistant. And she said, I'm here to collect the Fresh Wolf product. Guys. That is so funny. Lisa, after all of that crying, all that, I love you, Angie, she says, I'm going to send my assistant to pick up the Fresh Wolf product. Assistant. So Angie's like, all right. She goes down into the storage room. She picks up the Fresh Wolf product. And then Lisa sends a text that says, $600 Venmo sent. I can send my cleaners to help you too. Implying that her salon is dusty. But it's not the salon that's dusty, Lisa. It's your kids' products that are dusty. Maybe you should spend less time on French fries and more time on peddling whatever products it is that you've forced your children to make. But I love Angie because she takes to text, but not just to text. She takes to talk to text. Okay. And she crafts a delicious message back. She said, you should probably have sent the $600 to other people that are claiming that you owe them money. I didn't say you owed me any money, and my salon is not dusty. Your products are, though, because they've been sitting here for 2 years. Snaps, claps, whatever this thing is that the kids are doing these days, where they take their middle finger and smack it against their thumbs. Okay. Because my little Galacta-Bareka. Okay. I love this woman. My little baklava. I love her so much. My little Euro, my little souvlaki, Angie Katsanevis. I love her. That is so freaking funny. I love it. It's just such a beautiful tale. It's perfect housewifery of nonsense and shadiness. the text, the talk to text, all of it is just so good. And I love it. Restarts a little war. Lisa goes and makes up with Bronwyn because she realizes that Bronwyn is too good at this. Bronwyn is really good at words. Bronwyn will fucking cut you, okay? And Lisa realizes that the Bronwyn is not a person that she can fight with. So she starts with Angie again. She's like, that dumb bitch, I can go with her. I don't think that Angie's a dumb bitch. I think Lisa thinks Angie's a dumb bitch. Anyway. Brittany and Whitney go look at flowers, and Brittany apologizes to Whitney about coming at her MLM, but then they start talking about Jared, and Brittany shares that her daughter would talk to her again if she would stop dating. If she would stop dating in general, but especially stop dating Jared. And Brittany's like, I don't know if I can do it. And Whitney, sweet Whitney, holds her by the shoulders, really thinks this is real, says, maybe you should give it a try. Maybe you should put the cactus down, look at me, shakes her by the shoulders and says, perhaps your relationship with your daughter is more important than dating an Osmond who's taking girls on dates at the cafe at the gymnasium. I don't know. Maybe you should try it. But look, we don't have a history of housewives choosing their children over their partners, Vicky Gunvalson. So listen, if you're thirsty enough, you will fuck up your relationship with your children to continue to date for clout. So good luck with that, Brittany. We go to Bronwyn's house, and it's one of the most horrible meetings I've ever seen in my life. I've talked a lot about like trauma and therapy and all that stuff. It's not easy being a Desi girl, being raised by Desi parents. Our moms have a lot of issues, et cetera, et cetera. I've never seen a mom this terrible. She makes Sutton's mom look easy. Okay. I wish that what was her name? Big Kathy. Kim and Kyle and Kathy's mom. I wish she would come back from the dead and fight with this lady, because holy shit, what a fucking monster. Okay. Her name is Margaret, I think, but Bronwyn calls her Muzzy. I was like, is it because you wish that there was a muzzle on her mouth? Because holy shit, a truly terrifying woman. Okay. Like, we are all children of God. Everybody's important. But this woman is Ursula the Sea Witch personified. She looks like the evil stepmother from Cinderella. Yes. A jarring conversation happens where this woman calls her daughter she says all kinds of insane things to her daughter. She says, I don't want you to think too highly of yourself. If I didn't take care of you, your kid would probably be in foster care. She claims that abstinence works so well I could put my head on a chopping block for it. And she still believes that, because she's looking at Bronwyn raising Gwen to be like, you can literally live in my house with your boyfriend. Guys, abstinence doesn't work. Do you know that there's an entire television show on Hulu about Mormon girls that got knocked up too young? It's called Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. Muzzy. Okay? It's not that. It doesn't work. It truly... like I said this last week, Bronwyn, you got a husband who doesn't really like you, and you got a mom who doesn't really like you. Get out of here. Okay? Take care of yourself, because that is crazy. I hope Bronwyn is medicated. Okay. I really hope she is. Meredith and Angie meet for matcha, and Angie fills Meredith in about Lisa's nonsense, what she did at the salon, And then she says, Meredith, I just want you to know, when you and I weren't friends, Lisa was the one that was telling me to dig up stuff about your family and your children, and there was a shoplifting situation and all this stuff involved, et cetera, because that's what Lisa does. She digs things up. And so Meredith is like, Angie, we're just becoming friends now, and I don't really like you. She tells us in the confessional, and she says, I have years of Angie lying about me, so why would I think that she's not lying about Lisa? Well, Meredith, you do have years of Angie lying about you. That is true. But it sounds to me like Angie is saying that a source of the things that Angie was saying about Meredith came from Lisa. So Angie was the vehicle for the drama, but was the source of the drama Lisa? And Meredith doesn't care. Meredith doesn't care because Meredith is barely there, you guys. That lady is so zannied up to the max. She's sitting there, she's listening to Angie, and she's like, I'm just thinking about my caviar cubby. My caviar cubby and my turntables. Okay, lady, I don't know what you're talking about. It doesn't matter. I don't care. Etc., etc. But she is going to confront Lisa about it in front of Angie, and it looks like in the preview it becomes such a heated fight that Mary and Angie have it out. But I think that Mary and Angie are still besties. So I hope it's short-lived, okay? But we can't have that. We can't have a glitch in the matrix like that where Angie and Mary are on outs. But Meredith, Angie, don't tell Meredith stuff like that because Meredith doesn't care. Okay. Meredith has spent season upon season getting her ass handed to her through Lisa Barlow, and she does not care. None of these people care. It's very weird. It's very strange. Lisa Barlow said that she sang with New Kids on the Block. She sings so well that New Kids on the Block came up to them in the crowd and sang with them. That's not what happened. She shared receipts of it, and she was like just singing in the crowd. And then later on, there's a picture with one of the kids on the block. That's not the same. Lisa is the kind of person that's like, I partied with John Kennedy. I partied with, Harry Potter or whatever. I partied with Steve Carell. No, somebody being in a room that you organize does not mean that you know them or that you work with them. Okay. That's not how that works. Essentially, you're a vendor. That's like Gertie being like, all of the parties that she's thrown in Miami, all those people are her friends. They're not. She says all the time, those are her clients. That's her business. But Lisa thinks that because she has put together some events that she thinks that she's friends with them. Baby, those are not your friends. That is a paid transactional relationship, which makes sense why there's a lot of people out there who really think that Lisa Barlow is their friend. And she's not. She's not their friend. If Lisa Barlow's, I say this Lisa Barlow's texting you, she's not your friend. She's using you because that's what she does. But anyway, 10 out of 10, I loved it. I know that OC is still on, but I just don't care, you guys. I can't watch that show. Emily last week said that she didn't know that her son didn't know how to read. And I thought she said in first grade. And then we found out it was fourth grade. And it's not about Emily. I'm just going to say it's crazy to me that in a area like OC where people are like cussing out Board of Eds and yelling at people and trying to get books banned and trying to change. Like, I think the reason why Heather moved to LA is because her kid could not be raised in OC that is deeply transphobic. I'm sure the schools there are very transphobic. So she moved her kids to a place that is more LGBTQ friendly, but specifically trans friendly. And so it just blows my mind that in a city like OC where they're probably banning books and where they're probably, I don't know if OC is a city, but the area, they're banning books and they're banning sex ed and they're trying to control, pronouns, that this is also a place where a parent doesn't find out until fourth grade from the school that their kid can't read. Maybe focus on teaching kids literacy and stop focusing on what kind of bathrooms people use, because that's fucking weird. Okay. Anyway, that's it for this episode. I hope that you enjoyed my solo recap. If you hate it, don't tell me, but if you love it and you think I should do more of it, please let me know. Sometimes I don't want to record if I'm just recording by myself because I feel like everybody hates me. As I feel like nobody really wants to hear my voice on my own. So if you are into this, I will do more recaps by myself. I am trying to get Arthi on to talk Potomac because she does have boots on the ground. She did share with me a couple of, well, no, it wasn't Arthi. It was my friend Kim. Shared with me that Shasha did have an estate sale at her home. So I would love to know more about what's going on there. I believe that she also shared with me Angel's little wellness business, which anytime somebody's selling wellness, my spidey senses tingle. So anyway, I'm looking forward to talking to Arthi about boots on the ground stuff in Potomac. I hope you really love this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. And I will talk to you. Oh, one more thing. Big Brother. I'm going to be recording Big Brother 6, episodes 1 to 3, the first eviction with Donnie this weekend. So look out for that if you are a Big Brother fan and you enjoyed our Big Brother content. And on the Housewives front, I will be back next week. And I'll also have Real back next week. And guys, go get your mammograms. Okay. Go get your checkups. Okay. Be good about your health. Take care of yourself. And I will talk to you next time. Bye.